I denounce all anti-Semitism in this video. I'm only using these clips from InfoWars for added commentary.
I get the Hugo Boss uniforms, amazing. But I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just kind of say like you like the uniforms, but that's about it?
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
Okay, I know this seems bad, but Ye had said some stuff in the past that sounded outrageous. However, he always had good reasons for it. Like putting on a White Lives Matter shirt because he thought it was funny and was an obvious thing. So, I'm sure there's a really good reason for why he loves Hitler.
This guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician. You can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Okay, I know that's not the best reason to love Hitler. You know, building highways and microphones, not the best reason. But maybe he's saying that just because someone is evil doesn't mean they didn't do good things. You know, he's just pointing out that Hitler did some good things too. But I'm sure he thinks that Nazis were horrible people who did absolutely horrific things and are truly evil.
Well, CNN says white people are evil Nazis, so I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the pros.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at.
Oh my goodness! Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh man! Well, I have to disagree with that.
Well, you know when Alex Jones is shook, something's up. Okay, so he doesn't think the Nazis were evil. Interesting. Okay, look, I notice he's bad. You know, he likes Hitler, and he doesn't think the Nazis were evil. But maybe he's just saying that because he believes in loving everybody.
Especially Hitler.
He's talking about the Bible a lot, and I'm sure he's just trying to learn from Jesus and love everybody. That would explain why he said, I stand by Balenciaga and denounce all witch hunts, and I cancel cancel culture. Jesus is king. So Ye wants to love everyone no matter what, and let Jesus heal everyone. I personally think that anyone that promotes pedophilia should go to hell. And the same for anyone who murders 6 million Jews. But I don't think Ye believes that happened.
Let me just say this in closing. I've done a lot of study. I think Hitler was a really bad guy, and I repudiate what Hitler did. I understand that the British intelligence set him up and used him.
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Obviously, it happened. There are tons of evidence that it happened. However, the amount of, who died could be a different number to what is told. Anyway, I want to point out an interesting contradiction. Elon Musk banned Ye from Twitter for inciting violence after he posted a picture of a swastika and a Star of David. So I'm assuming Elon thought he was saying he supported Hitler because he killed a bunch of Jews, and that's why he posted a picture of a swastika inside of a Jewish symbol. Basically saying that he supported the Nazis killing Jews. But how would he support Hitler killing Jews if he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened?
The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts.
Things just don't add up. Also, the Nazi swastika is rotated 90 degrees. Ye is using a right-facing swastika, which in Hinduism symbolizes the sun, prosperity, and good luck. The Star of David is a symbol of Jewish identity and Judaism. So Ye seems to be saying that even though the Jews froze his bank accounts, he loves them and wishes them prosperity and good luck. Otherwise, he would have rotated the swastika 90 degrees. That also means that Elon contradicts himself on free speech. He doesn't want to unban Alex Jones because of his own personal reasons, and he banned Ye because he thinks he is inciting violence, but he never has. He said that Jews are behind everything, and then his bank accounts were frozen. Go figure. He said he wanted to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, which could be misinterpreted as him wanting to kill Jews. But what he actually meant to say was DEFCON 3, which means that force readiness is increased above normal levels, because if it was discovered that a certain group of people were running a world, we would probably get ready for war. But since the military is controlled by them, nothing would happen. They would just use the media that they run to call whoever said that a group of people running the world a crazy anti-Semite and tell him to take his meds because he is just going through a manic episode because of his bipolar disorder, then no one frees his bank account to show that they control him. The funny thing is, black people are Jews. How can you be racist to your own race? Or at least that's what Ye said. I haven't looked into the history of that. But of course, we shouldn't listen to Ye. He's just crazy. It's not like he became a famous artist, has deals with massive brands, and became one of the top 3 richest black people. But yeah, his bipolar disorder kicked in uncontrollably because no one forced him to take the meds, and he started praising Hitler and wanted to kill Jews. That seems to be what people believe. Ben Shapiro says Ye needs help because he's going through a mental breakdown, even though he's admitted he's not a doctor. But we should definitely listen to an autistic Jew to know what a mental breakdown is. Nah, I'm joking, okay, I'm joking. I denounce all anti-Semitism. Anyway, even though Ben Shapiro is wrong, I understand why Ben is thinking what he is. It seems like Ye's crazy, but he just sees the world differently. Like Alex Jones says, he's a savant. He has exceptional talent in music, but he's autistic, and he's unapologetically himself. He might be wrong in some things, but he believes he is a soldier of God, and he is doing what God wants. He wants to love everyone, like Jesus does. I don't call that a mental breakdown. I call it a man who found his purpose. Ben Shapiro's purpose is to memorize every argument for the existence of God.
So my favorite argument for God's existence is that I believe in free will.
Why abortion is immoral and why you can't change your gender. Every basic conservative argument that people like Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and Jordan Peterson repeat over and over again, but never really get to what's really going on. Postmodernism. Why is it that everything the government's proposed takes power away from us? Anyway, I've got to go back to Elon for a second. I think even though he is contradicting himself and not allowing free speech, like he says he is, I think he's playing his cards right. He's trying to be a centrist, saying that he knew people from both the far right and far left would be mad at his decisions. He's done some controversial things, but he doesn't want to do too many controversial things because he needs money from advertisers, and he doesn't want the elites to do an Epstein on him. We'll just see how things play out, but freedom seems to be doing a hell of a lot better than before. Anyway, we've talked about Ye, but we need to talk about his lackey, Nick Fuentes. A supposed white supremacist, white nationalist, conspiracy theorist, and Holocaust denier. But why is he labelled those things? Here's one article where Emily Tankin calls him a white supremacist, and a conspiracy theorist. I'm surprised white nationalist and Holocaust denier wasn't thrown in. So, apparently he marched at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, bringing together various extreme right groups. And yes, it definitely did do that. But the rally started because people were protesting the removal of a historical figure, General Robert E. Lee's statue. Counter-protesters came and violence ensued. Police had to come and people were murdered. It was a horrific event, with Trump saying that there were people from both the right and the left who were violent and others who weren't. Of course, the media wouldn't talk about the violent leftists, but if Fuentes harmed anyone, the media definitely would have blasted that into everyone's ears. So Fuentes simply went there to protest the removal of a statue of a historical figure. He thinks that even though he did horrible things like fought to own slaves, he played a key role in the history of the US, and his statue shouldn't be removed. What statues will be removed next? Abraham Lincoln's, Christopher Columbus's? They did terrible things too. Where do you stop? So what's next in the article? Well, this person says that Fuentes' fans are called groupers. Yes, this fan base has a whole name. Groupers are apparently far-right / alt-right conservatives led by Fuentes and are critical of mainstream conservatives such as Ben Shapiro. What a shock. According to Wikipedia, alt-right is an abbreviation of alternative right and is a far-right, a white nationalist movement. White nationalism is supposedly the belief that white people are a race, and white nationalists seek to maintain a white racial and national identity. Many of them seek to ensure survival of the white race and cultures of historically white states, and many of them also believe that multiculturalism and immigration is a threat to the white race. I don't know how much of that is true for Fuentes. I know he wants to limit immigration because when lots of people of different cultures and races are in the country, no one in the country has collective beliefs and the cultures and values of nations start to be lost, which has happened to America. And also, if you're white, wouldn't you want to keep your race alive? Same if you're black or a Jew. I don't see anything wrong with that. Fuentes just wants to bring Christianity back to a godless country and preserve whatever little culture and values are left in the US. Most Americans used to be Christian, but as less people believed in God, things turned to shit. That's why I said Christianity is the religion of this nation, not Judaism, not the Talmud, not that stuff. It's just what it is, it's just a fact. He's not saying people can't follow other religions. He's saying the US is built upon Christianity and he wants his laws to reflect that, like Ye. This person said he is a known Holocaust denier, but he did not deny the Holocaust. He said that there wasn't enough time to bake 6 million cookies in 5 years because there weren't enough ovens. He reckons there were that only about 200 to 300,000 cookies were baked in that time. So he didn't deny that cookies were baked. He said that the amount of cookies that were said to be baked was an overestimation. However, Ye seems to think that no cookies were baked. Another thing Fuentes said was that they compared Putin to Hitler like it's a bad thing.
And now they're going on about Russia and Vladimir Putin is Hitler, and they say that's not a good thing. And I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. But what other way is there to say it? Of course we know that's a terrible comparison.
I guess this person doesn't know what a joke is. Later, the person said that Fuentes uses terms like globalists as dog whistles for Jews and Jewish control. So do a lot of Republicans. And to that, I say, if a certain group of people were running the world and doing horrific things, wouldn't you want to talk about it? And if it really were anti-Semitic, wouldn't he just call them Jews, not globalists? The author also tries to say that because Trump meant it with Fuentes, he's just like him. This is the same thing that the whole media is saying because whoever runs the media doesn't like Trump because they can't control him. They want DeSantis to be president instead of Trump because he isn't a threat to the establishment, so they'll try and shut down Trump with everything they got. And by the way, there's a whole lot of articles just like this one. And they all love to prop up DeSantis. Time to sum things up. I think Ye and Fuentes are funny, controversial people who want to bring back Christianity to the US, and Ye might need to read some history books. I don't think Ye's bipolar disorder suddenly kicked in, leading him to become obsessed with Hitler, become a Nazi, and join teams with a white supremacist. Yeah, apparently a white supremacist is hanging out with a black man. Ye wants to follow the Bible and listen to Jesus' teachings. He says whatever he thinks because he isn't controlled by anyone anymore, so most people just think he's crazy and hateful and should be put in a mental asylum and forced to take meds for his own good. I think, like Alistair said, Ye is a savant. He has exceptional talent, but is pretty autistic and he sees the world in a different way. He always has. Now he's free to say whatever he wants, and the people in control are trying to shut him down. The same goes to Fuentes. He wants to put Christianity first and he tells the truth in the funniest way and doesn't care what people think. So the media calls him a white supremacist, white nationalist, and a Holocaust denier. The Department of Justice even labelled him a white supremacist. But not only that, the government thinks that he is a security threat. To deal with this threat, they made sure his bank accounts can't be accessed and he can't fly anywhere. Yes, he is on a no-fly list. I'm noticing an interesting trend here. When people say certain things about a certain group of people, stuff always happens to their bank accounts. Also, Ye said attempts were made to put him in prison. However, I'm not sure if they're going about this the right way. I have no idea what their plan is. Ye seems to have a massive Hitler fetish, but I think that's because the biggest weapon the left has is to call someone a Nazi and a fascist. Every conservative gets called that on a daily basis, so they're pretty overused terms. So Ye seems to be trying to free himself from everything. He has complete control over all his money now, and I guess he just wants to say the most outrageous things so that he can say whatever he wants. Also, Fuentes is giggling way too much. I know he's a smart guy and he knows his history, so he knows the Holocaust happened, but he hasn't seemed to fill Ye in on that. Some people are saying Fuentes is using Ye, but I don't think that is true. I think Fuentes is just like Ye. He says outrageous things and doesn't care about backlash. He's already the most cancelled a man can be, so I guess he's just here for the ride with Ye, where they praise Hitler, because why not? So, hopefully they have a good plan. I think they believe they're doing the right thing. And you know what the right thing is for you? Liking and subscribing so you can hear me ramble on about this crazy clown world. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.